to the Expanding Your Search and Stopping for Directions podcast with Brent Bailey. And at the tech booth, Jody Cook-Bailey and Luke Cardio. We are growing our circles of connections and knowledge together with encouraging conversations and positive communications. And now, Brent Bailey.
Hey, happy Friday, everybody. Welcome to Expanding Your Search and Stopping for Directions. I'm Brent Bailey, and it is a Friday. Man, what a great thing to be able to say. It's a great Friday, and I hope that you're ready to have an amazing weekend wherever it is that you are and whatever you've got going on today. I pray that you go out and have a great weekend today. We have got lots of good things planned here in the Bailey household, and so right now I'm joined over at the booth with Jody and Luke, and guys, let's jump in right as quick as we can and get this party started. I got a great show planned for you today to kick off your weekend. I've got the president and owner of Clemmer and Associate Seminars, Kimberly Zinc, is with us today, and she's going to be coming on to just chit-chat and catch up, but then also she's going to be telling us about a great new way of thinking about things, especially in a year like 2020. My goodness, this year has been so crazy, and she's going to be talking about the difference of being a victim or being responsible. And she's going to talk about the possibilities of your life improving. And we're so excited to have her with us today. And so it's going to be a great show. Guys. Oh, yeah. I know Jody's heard Kim before. And we've sat through the Clemmer seminars. Luke, you're going to get your mind blown.
Awesome.
Because she's... When she starts talking, you're immediately going to just feel like you're talking to me. But it's amazing. It's amazing.
It is.
The results that come out of transformation thinking like that. All right, so enough about that. We're going to get to that in just a few minutes. There's lots of things happening in the country today, and the big thing I was on my grandmother's side, my dad's mom's side. We traced it all the way back, in that we have Scandinavian heritage. And today is Leif Erikson Day, National Leif Erikson Day.
Leif Erikson?
Yeah.
I have friends who had posters of Leif Erikson.
No. That's Leif Garrett.
Leif Garrett? Okay.
Leif Garrett.
I don't get that.
You don't get that. I know you're way too young.
The girls had Leif Garrett. The guy.
Who was that?
The girls had Leif Garrett. The guys had Leif.
Was it 70s or 80s?
He was a 70s
Who's
rock
Leif
star.
Garrett?
He's a 70s singer / TV star kind of thing.
Yeah.
I think no, that's the Partridge Family. I'll have to think of a song by Leif Garrett.
I can't even remember.
But the girls had his posters up there, him and Sean Cassidy, and then of course all the guys had in the 70s had the Farrah Fawcett poster. But that has nothing to do with Leif Erikson.
No,
Leif
it does
Erikson
not.
is the great Scandinavian explorer. He's a Viking.
Yeah.
And today is the day they celebrate him. So it's Leif Erikson Day.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what else is going on
What
today?
else is going on? Well, when we talk about food, let's get the bad one out of the way. Moldy Cheese Day.
Well, that's not necessarily.
Okay. Who was the first person to look at blue cheese or moldy cheese and be like, you know what? I'm gonna put that in my mouth.
That is a great.
Sprinkle that over my salad.
That's a great song. I mean, that's a great idea. I mean, I don't know who would think of that, but I will say, whoever it was, thank you.
Yeah.
Because blue cheese is the bomb.
Whatever.
Like, even the smell of some cheeses is like just
nasty.
too much. It's just too much for me sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were talking before this. You said you've tried like
7-year-old cheddar cheese.
Yes.
That's kind of crazy.
And it is the best. I mean, listen, the older the cheese, honestly, the better and more mature the flavor is.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like aged
And the more
Gouda.
expensive it usually winds up being.
Well, that's true.
Because it's
That's true. Jody, do you remember when we had 7-year-old cheddar cheese? Do you remember where we were?
Yes. I think weren't we in Israel?
No, we were actually, we did have some in Israel, but the first time we had it, we were at my cousin's house. Her husband is from England, and he said, I want you guys to try this and just to see. And he actually laid out 3 different kinds of cheddar cheese, and one was from Cheddar, England, which is where the cheese gets its name, and it was 7 years old,
Wow.
and it was the most delicious flavor ever. So
What did he like? Pull it out of like a
no, he had
a
it with
special...
him, and then he had just stuff you'd buy at the grocery store, just normal, average, everyday cheddar cheese, and then like cheese whip, like the.
Uh-huh.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that
And we all
I don't
tried
think
it.
it's real cheese.
Whiz, yeah, no.
So
no.
you can kind of keep that forever.
Yeah. So
I have
Yeah.
had something called cheese whip before. I have.
Cheese whip.
Yeah. It was like on a hot dog at a hot dog place in Tulsa. They called it
Oh,
cheese whip.
okay. That sounds about
well,
right.
today is National Moldy Cheese Day. What else? There's one more.
Yes, one
national
more,
day.
and it's another food day. It's Pro-Life Cupcake Day.
That goes right with our theme and right in our wheelhouse here
Exactly,
because we are
exactly.
we are a believer show, so we are
Yes,
pro-life, but
yes.
at the same time, we still believe in loving the young ladies who've had to make that
Absolutely,
choice for
yes.
their life. I just it's an impossible place to be in.
Yeah.
But we are pro-life. We just can't overlook the baby who's growing on the inside of a
Right.
young lady, and so today is a day that they actually suggest you bake cupcakes with Jody. You're actually
Yeah.
really
I mean,
you're really good at that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I will attest to that. Jody is a master cupcake.
She does know how to do cupcakes.
yeah, and I always look for excuses to make cupcakes, but the problem is, I will eat it.
You'll
Peyton
eat
will
the
it,
cupcakes too.
and then they'll sit in the house because we're trying not. Oh, and I'll eat this. I make my own frosting too, and it
well,
is
and the batter
and the batter.
everything
yeah,
else.
all of
Yeah.
it. So good.
But this is
yeah.
this is a day that you're supposed to have cupcake and you're supposed to give them to somebody to
Yes.
start the conversation.
Yes, absolutely.
And it
Which
really is a thing of respect and love. It's not just a take this cupcake
yeah.
and adopt my way of thinking, and if you don't, you can't have the cupcake.
Right.
See that I feel like that's so important to have a conversation going. You know what I mean? How else do you
Absolutely.
expect to understand why someone's doing something or
Totally.
they feel like they need to
Absolutely.
do that? You know?
Totally. And we're not by any means suggesting that you change what you believe, or you have to believe like I do.
Right.
Because we understand that there's so many people out there that are rooted in their beliefs. And, to quote The Matrix, some people just aren't ready to change that. There's just some
Yeah.
things they're not really.
That's right.
I think it was Morpheus that said some people aren't ready to be unplugged yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so
That's good.
we're not encouraging pro-life Cupcake Day to be a day of,
Forcing.
shoving the cupcake
Yeah.
down somebody's or
You
else.
will eat this.
Yeah, or it's to open up some dialogue with some people. And so
Yes. That's right.
it's a good
Very
day.
good point.
It is.
Yep.
All right, so a couple things. This day in history, today was the day in 1936 that the Hoover Dam began to transmit electricity all the way over to L.A.
Very
Have you ever been?
interesting.
And now, Jody, you used to live out in that area of the country in Arizona.
Yeah, I
Did
did.
you ever go over to
The Hoover Dam?
Hoover Dam?
I don't think we did.
Yeah,
I mean,
I remember driving over there
Yeah,
when I
I
was
know
a
you
kid.
did.
So
You have to live further, I guess. I don't know.
I guess
don't-
so. So anyway, that's a very interesting day today.
Very
so.
interesting, yes.
All right, so that's what's going on in the country today, and we're going to jump right into our guests, and so now it's time to expand your search. My guest today is the president and founder, or not founder, no, good Lord, I can't believe I just said that. Today is she is the president and owner of Clemmer & Associates. Of course, Clemmer & Associates was founded by a great mentor of mine named Brian Clemmer. He just had a voice of influence in my life that really changed my life. But now he's no longer with us, but the company still goes on. His daughter and business partner and owner is our guest today. She is running the company, and they're out transforming people's lives today. And when I say they're out transforming people's lives, I mean that literally today, because she's joining me from the road as they move the headquarters into their new ranch. She's joining us from the road today. So please welcome the president of Clemmer & Associates, Kimberly Zinc. Kim!
Oh,
Look at you with your little setup there in your car as you're driving to.
good.
You're going where now? You're going to Arizona, right?
We are. We originally, our ranch was in Colorado, and we've expanded to Arizona. And we were headed out yesterday. You'll love this. We headed out, 15 passenger van, U-Haul, the whole nine. I mean, a total Christian camp experience, over the mountain. And just like most of those experiences, we had car trouble.
Awesome.
Yeah. So I had planned on being in a space where I could be 100% focused, no distractions. I'd have a beautiful background. It would be so cool. And that was my plan. Has anybody else had a plan before?
Right. So that, I know when we first made the connection, I saw you were pulling a trailer, a U-Haul, and that's their slogan, moving is an adventure. So, you definitely are in the middle of an adventure. And so let me just start by saying we're so grateful that you have still made the sacrifice to be on our show today and talk with us about the things we're going to talk about. Now, I want to jump in, but I want to just ask, I know that you guys do seminars, so how has COVID really been during all this with you guys? How's it affected you, and how are you doing now?
In 100% transparency, we were at Bob Harrison's event in Hawaii.
Yeah.
And we got a call, and here they shut down everything. For 25 years, we have been a seminar company that goes in and does experiential work, which means it is not on a screen. Yeah. It is in the room. And we've gotten to pivot beautifully. I'll give you one testimony. I had a 9-year-old girl. We have a kids playful mastery, 5 to 11 years old. And this year we got to do it virtually.
Wow.
And for 3 days, Brent, these babies were invested. And this 9-year-old at the end of 3 days said, "Mommy, I never knew you could get love through a computer."
Oh, that's so cool. That's so cool. That is incredible. That's just a dynamic testimony of the power of this message, and really your guys doing such a great job taking that message out there. So our guest today, folks, is Kimberly Zinc. She's the president and owner of Klimmer and Associates Seminars, and it is a life-changing event. When you go through one of their seminars, it is something that really, you're never the same after that, in a good way. And today, of course, we had your partner, Crystal, on several months ago, and we had her talking about the illusion of separateness, which is something you guys teach there. But you guys also have... Man, I could just start naming parts of the seminar and just say, you could talk about this, you could talk about that. But in 2020, there's been so much bad that's happened in people's lives that they're really kind of rocked. And I thought, man, we need to talk about this victim and responsible mindset, because so many people are stuck with what happened to them and what is happening to them right now. And so I want to kind of give you some room here, and really let's talk about that. What is a victim and responsible mindset, and how does it work?
All right. Well, as I said, we're experiential. So what I'm going to ask is that you take this information in a very short period of time, and you take it and you actually go out and apply it, test it.
Yes.
Don't ever trust anything. Always test the tool, apply it, and experience the difference. And victim, the word in and of itself can be very misleading. And so I want to be very clear. When I say victim, I'm talking about a mindset. I am not talking about the actual events. Guess what? Our company closed down for 7 months. We understand disappointment. We understand the setback. We understand payroll. We understand all of those things. And as owners of the business, we want to make sure our employees and our customers are served. And guess what? They said no. And everything changed for many of us. Some of us walked back into no employment. And you know what? It wasn't fair. Some of us walked back in and went, I'm a single mom. And guess what? I got children that can't go to school.
Yeah.
The victim mentality is what I want to address. The event is the event. I will never take anything away from you. I am going to encourage you, however, to be willing to change your perspective, or at least have two. You can always keep your first one, but at least have two. And so, victim, I want you to bring to mind some of the areas in life where you felt like things were done to you. Those times where you felt out of control. It's an invisible virus. We can't see it, touch it, smell it. We have no idea when it's there, when it's active, when it isn't. And notice all the things we made up. Notice the jobs, notice those things, and notice the feelings that came along with them, because it's really important. Now, I'm going to challenge you, big challenge, and I know that you're ready for it. I believe, because you wouldn't be listening to this otherwise.
Yeah.
You wouldn't be with Brent and his team if you weren't ready at some level to hear this. Because I'm going to ask you to stretch. I'm going to ask you to turn a whole 180 degrees. A very different concept. Now, I'm going to say this word, and I want you to immediately notice what comes up for you. Notice your feelings, notice your emotions, notice your behaviors. That's how you discover that you're wearing what we at Clemmer like to call a set of sunglasses. We refer to these perspectives, these belief systems, as programs, as sunglasses, things that you are automatically wearing, and odds are you don't know. Because it's deep programming. It's deep opportunities that you learned when you were 0 to 8. And yet we don't know that it's going on. Utilizing that information, the fact that you have free will, you have the ability to choose. Not only choose what we do, but choose our thinking. Take every thought captive. It is required. However, oftentimes we only do that when there's something obvious. Thinking isn't always obvious. You think it's automatic because it is. And it takes effort and energy to change that. Sad part about this, and I know you would agree because you've been in our room, oftentimes people want a new mentality, a new way of looking at life. However, a new way might be hard. It's new, it's different. For most of us, I'll come from I know what victims feels like. I know what it feels like for it to seem like things are being done to me. COVID was done to me.
Yeah.
The hotel said no to me. And notice the feeling. It feels out of control. It feels belittling. For me, it felt disrespectful. I am doing God's work and you're telling me no? Notice what came up for you. Because now I'm going to introduce a word called responsible. Notice what just came up. Because if you were anything like I, growing up, responsible for me meant I was in trouble. It meant I had to take care of the rest of the kids and forbid anything happen to them because it was going to be my fault. Now, I'm going to ask you to, big challenge, big opportunity, same thing. I'm going to ask you to take that belief and put it on the shelf, that it's hard, that responsible, it means burden. I'm going to ask you to shift your thinking. And please hear me, I'm not talking positive thinking. I love positive thinking. I love all of that. But positive thinking, as Brian would say, is kind of like having a turd sundae with all the yucky stuff on the bottom. You remember this, Brent. All the yucky stuff on the bottom, but the whipped cream, make it look really pretty, put a cherry on top.
Yeah.
And no matter what, it's still under there.
Yeah.
So we get to look at it. Now, responsible. Britt and I, we both know that responsible can have lots of different perspectives. As I said, it could be, I don't want that. It's hard. It's heavy. I'm the responsible one in the family, means I don't get to have any fun. I got to be the firm parent. I don't get to be the fun one. Whatever that is for you, especially in this season when we are tested, when the pressure is on, everything on the news says victim is okay. It's where we're at. However, that's looking at the obvious. At Clemmer, we look past the obvious. To think is to create. From the mouth of the heart speaketh.
Yeah.
What our thinking is what's out there. And we get to talk about responsible. Now, responsible has a tendency in most people's minds to go to blame or fault. I am not talking about that. The event is the event. Whether they felt like they did it to you or not is a set of sunglasses. Responsible, on the other hand, says that we were given free will. You and I both know when we exercise that, we're in the glory.
Yeah.
And when we don't, we put back on that victim set of sunglasses. Now, responsible. Responsible, again, nothing to do with shame, blame, or guilt, and nothing to do with fault, period. Because if you go to fault, now you're back in that same really discouraging, painful set of sunglasses called victim.
Yeah.
However, responsible. Responsible is a very different come from. It's a very different set of sunglasses. It isn't, as I said, positive thinking. That's the third Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
What responsible is, in this context, is the ability to look at everything from a place of cause. Meaning, I chose. And when I can start taking ownership of what I chose, that I had some part in this, now I actually get back control, Brent. I actually get to have a choice. And from choice comes possibility. Brian said it this way, and I want to share it with you. If you go to Las Vegas and you go to the craps table, all right, one table is a victim set of sunglasses. They've all done it to me. The world did this to me. My job did this to me. The childcare did this to me. Now, at that table, you are guaranteed 0 odds of winning. 0. Because of your sunglasses, no matter what's beautiful in front of you, you're going to have a tainted view.
That's right.
On the other hand, the other table, responsible, this one, you've got a 50-50 shot. Because from responsible, if I own, guess what? I chose yesterday to get on the road, even though I had a little thing about, is the van going to do okay? Do I need to have it checked? I had that now, that little voice, our counselor saying, hey, pay attention. And I went, guess what? We have to go. We have things to do. I have a schedule. I have to be there on Friday. I get to support my friends. I get to be with people. And it didn't happen. And so easily I went to, there will be disappointed. I should call and cancel. It doesn't look right. It won't be professional. And then I went, whoa, what would be a responsible set of sunglasses? What thinking would I shift? And I went to the 50-50 table because at least there I have free will. I have choice. And from that, responsible is a gift. Responsible represents excitement. Because from responsible, I can say, I chose this job. I chose to work here. And guess what? I get to choose to find another job. From there, it's not about the loss. It isn't about the I'm hurt part. We express the hurt. We walked through that. But it isn't about staying there. It isn't about keeping that limiting belief. If I had a set of glasses that were blue, and I call those victim, when I look out, guess what? All I can see is blue and everything.
That's right. No matter what color it is. Yeah.
No matter what. I have a yellow set of sunglasses on. Guess what? That represents responsibility. I will see opportunity and possibility in every single thing I get to do. And today, practice it. What if instead of I lost my job, in the sadness, in the regret, in the anger, in the frustration, what if today, just today, for even a minute, you said, I chose to work there. I chose to live in this town. I chose to be alive in a season that offers us so many new opportunities. Yeah. And this is one of them.
Yeah.
And what am I going to do with it? It's a set of sunglasses, and it's a choice, and we were given it. And I invite you to exercise it.
Folks, this is Kim Zinc, and I could let this run for the entirety of, the rest of the day and have your mind blown. Unfortunately, we don't have time to do that. So here's what we're going to say. If this whet your appetite today, you'd like to get some more information about that, Kim runs the Klimmer and Associates seminars, and you can actually participate in one of those. There's several different levels. We're going to throw the information up on the screen here. And while we're doing that, Kim, explain really quickly what are the different levels that they have to go through in order to participate.
Beautiful. Thank you. First of all, we have personal mastery, and personal mastery is all about revelation. That little bit, that 15 minutes we do, literally that is a 4-hour experiential learning where you can see the joy and excitement of a different perspective. Revelation. Now, you and I both know with revelation, we have to, hey, Brent.
Sorry.
No worries. Once you have revelation, you have to go back and take action immediately. Otherwise, it fills back up. The void will not last. And then we go to advanced leadership. That's where we work on breakthrough. That's when we take all these limiting beliefs that are not serving us in our journey, and we break through them so that we are being in the walk that we were designed for. And then we go to Heart of the Samurai, where we work with purpose, abundance, and significance. We work with contribution in the multiple hundreds of thousands of dollars that are created literally in 4 hours. And we follow it up with what we call Samurai Camp, and that is a 90-day program to enhance our daily practice, utilizing our new thinking to ensure our success and the success of those around us. And we have a whole lot more, so come find out.
I know there's so much that, folks, we've been affiliated with these fine, great folks for a number of years, and there's so much there. We're going to put it up one more time. There it is, Klimmer.com. You can follow Kim on Facebook and Instagram at Kimberly A. Zinc. She's also on Twitter at Kimberly Zinc, and of course on LinkedIn, Kimberly Zinc as well. But folks, I would encourage you to take everything you can out of what you've heard today and participate in one of these incredible seminars that will absolutely change your life, your thinking, and your world. Kim, I just couldn't be so more appreciative to you than I am right now because of you taking the time there on the side of the road to put up a backdrop and make the best of a situation that is absolutely an adventure. Yeah, I see the U-Haul back there.
There's a U-Haul back there.
But listen, we're celebrating with you that you are moving to the new ranch and the new place. That's incredible, and we just couldn't be happier for you. So you be safe on the rest of your journey, and fill up with gas. Make sure no breakdowns or anything like that. But
we got our sustenance. We have our manna, so we are moving on with Chick-fil-A right here.
Well, tell your husband Tim and your baby Timber hi for us, and give our love to everybody. And you be safe and have a great rest of your trip.
Thank you both. Love you all. Thank you.
All right, great job.
Come see us.
Oh, we will. We sure will. All right, folks. That's Kim Zinc, president and owner of Klimmer and Associates, and she's on the move right now. And man, what a word she just spoke to us. All right, let's take a minute right now and stop for directions. All right. As Kim was talking there, there's so much that is there that it just absolutely is so much that you just can't wrap your mind around all of it. It's so much that it's literally like drinking from a fire hose. One of the things that I was thinking about when she was talking was when my kids were small. Jody and I have 2 boys, Preston and Peyton, and when they were small, on Saturday mornings, we're just like everybody else. We like to eat cereal in the living room in front of the TV, watching cartoons. And when both of them were really small, they had trouble carrying that jug of milk. They'd pick that jug of milk out of the refrigerator, and of course they're boys, so they want to do it themselves, and it would slam down on the ground, and they would drag it over and they would start to pour it in there. And ultimately it happened. They were spillage. There were times that our rug or our tile floor had milk everywhere. And I could look at that and say, that's my fault. I shouldn't have let that happen. Or I could point my finger at them and say, that's your fault. The bottom line is, it doesn't matter whose fault it is. Who's going to clean that mess up? That was a choice that I had to make, that Jody had to make. We were the ones that were responsible to clean up the mess. And I know there's things that's happened to you today, but listen, you can do something about it. You have the greater one living on the inside of you. And so why don't you do that today? Choose to be the responsible one to get your life back on track and move past what's happened to you. It's tragic. Our heart goes out to you, but you can be better on the other side of it if you choose to be. Be a responsible party today and watch what happens in your life. We love you guys so much. We're going to wrap up the show today. That's going to do it for us. For Kimberly Zinc, thank you so much for coming and being with us. For Jody and for Luke, another great show, guys. Proud of all your hard work over there. We love and appreciate every one of you. We're so glad to be able to be coming to you now on the Pandora website. And so if you're a part of Pandora, you can listen to us and relive any of our podcasts there as well. God bless you. Have a great weekend. I got a great show coming up for you on Monday, so we'll see you then. We hope you found what you were looking for as you took the time to expand your search and stop for directions. Have a great day, everybody.
Thanks for joining us today. Connect with us on @ExpandingYourSearch on Facebook and Instagram and @ExpandingSearch on Twitter. Relive any of our episodes on YouTube. We're available wherever podcasts are found, including Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, and Google Podcasts. You can also download the Direction Ministries app on iOS, Android, Apple TV, Roku, and Amazon Fire. Take some time today to expand your search and stop for directions.